It's the Daily Comedy News with your host, Mark Pires. Join us for breaking headlines and all kinds of comedy shenanigans. Brought to you by the BeatSeat.
Sounds like a case of the Mondays. Peter, what's happening? We're gonna need that TPS report. Not now, Lumberg. It's Monday morning on the MarkinsPires show, day 1953 in a row. We are here on YouTube, on X, on Rumble, on all channels. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And join us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications. We're getting right into it. We have a lot of news to talk about today. I actually pulled 3 stories over the weekend I couldn't wait to get to today, so stick around. We're doing this for the next half hour or so. Every day I'm live since December 31st, 2018. Mel Cool J's in the house. Mel, thank you so much for subscribing to my TikTok. It means a lot to me. I am here every day trying to bring some joy to you guys, entertain you, break you away from the negativity for a little while. I write songs live in the moment on this guitar and this mandolin that I just built out of wood that I cut myself last year from a tree in the backyard. How about that? So I'm building another one right now. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, guys, every night we write songs and every day we do some comedy news. Twice a day, just trying to get together a safe space for all the people that are looking for something positive. So spread the word, guys. We're getting close to 2,000 days in a row. Let's get in the news. When you head over to YouTube, all those other channels, you're gonna see the news stories over my shoulder. And then we read the news together. We scroll the news here. I don't talk about anything political. And we only find stories that we just get into it and find comedy. At least I think it's comedy. We'll see what happens. Let me know if you enjoy it. If you have an impression you want to hear, I'm also an impressionist. Let's get into it. Mexican authorities revealed bizarre reason why these 2 Australians and an American, you guys hear about this, murdered surfing vacation, Baja, California. We got to get into it. I don't even know what's going on over here. They're digging. They're doing something. Mexican authorities say 2 Australians and an American were killed on a surfing trip because thieves wanted the tires from their truck. Just take the tires. Here. I'll walk. I still got my Nike, Air Jordan Select ones on, so you take the tires. These freaking people killing for a tire. What happened to the days where they come up to you? Ha ha ha, you rock, Mel. What happened to the days where they come up to you and they're like, give me your wallet, and they pull the gun or the knife and then they let you live? Maybe bang you in the back of the head as you turn around to run, and you got the old nog, big lump on the head. That's straight out of the cartoon. You start getting that huge lump and nothing helps. Now we're just straight up murdering people for tires, This is what happens in Mexico. Guys, what stays in Mexico is usually 3 bodies. Sad. So I don't know if you saw, these are the guys right here. And this is crazy. These are 2 brothers from Australia. Good looking guys. This guy over here is an American friend. They meet up. They go to Baja, California. And you know what's weird? I had this thought, because he said this is the dangerous place you could go to in Mexico.
Love Life or Lara the Beautiful Pires.
I'll call it back. All right, we have a woo-hoo coming. We'll get into the news story. Zabrask. All right, we're gonna do this as quick as possible here. All right, so 3 people. I thought to myself, these 2 brothers seem like they're adventurers. And the third friend, they're like, hey guys, why don't we let's go surfing. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's just, I don't know, where do you want, San Diego it? No, let's go to Baja, California. And they're like, yeah, but that's a dangerous place. I could see the guy over here with the boombox. He'd be like, that's a dangerous place, guys. And the 2 of them like, yeah, but we're tough. 6'3", 6'4", Australian. Oi. And then that happened. It's just sad. It's just sad that people have 0 appreciation for life anymore. So my heart goes out to these 3 bodies missing surfers, violent Mexican state. That was the first story I saw about it. I was like, damn. Yankees slugger Aaron Judge. Joanne! Joanne! Stop wheezing back there. Joanne, did you have to drop some salami out of your hiney butt? You know? Poor Joanne. We're still trying to figure out what Joanne is. She's definitely a non-human entity. We're just not sure from where. Aaron Judge ejected for the first time in his career. I saw it. It was crap. It was like, whatever. It was outside. That was an outside pitch, you know? So let's find out. I wanted to talk about this one. This is the last one I pulled up. Then we'll get to the news of the day. The Christopher Gregor trial in Toms River, New Jersey. You guys know about this? I didn't know about it. But I'm from Toms River, New Jersey. My name's not Christopher Gregor, though. But let's hear about this guy. And this is a freaking piece of garbage. All right. The criminal trial of a Barnegat father who stands accused of endangering and ultimately murdering his 6-year-old got underway on this past week. The case before the Superior Court, Judge Guy P. Ryan. That's a dude right there. His name's Guy Ryan. Yeah. Like, you ever get that guy on your golf card, you're winning. You're winning every time. Who are you playing with? You got Guy Ryan on your team? Winners, you know. Guy Ryan's always got the trophy, but it's not a participation trophy. He's winning. He's actually winning. Oh, goodness. So, Judge Guy P. Ryan, it's already become one of the most high-profile Ocean County cases in years, with proceedings even being carried by Court TV. Here's what we know so far. Court TV. I need the freaking music for it. Here's the facts. April 2021, 6-year-old Corey Michielio died about an hour after his father, Christopher Gregor, 31 of Barnegat, brought his limp body into the emergency room at Southern Ocean Medical Center in neighboring Stafford. The child coded twice and died at 5:03 p.m. after life-saving measures were unsuccessful. What was the cause? What was the cause of his death? Apparently, Jamie Scron, I love the freaking names. My favorite thing is the names that we see when I do these news stories, like Jamie Scron. Jamie Scron told the jury in her opening statement Tuesday at Gregor's trial that the child died as a result of blunt force trauma. Corey had contusions all over his body, and his heart and liver were lacerated. What in the freaking heck, Gregor? Gregor's attorney told the jury in an opening statement that his medical experts dispute the cause of Corey's death. Gallucci said his medical witnesses will testify that Corey died as a result of sepsis caused by a bout of pneumonia. Perhaps by the lacerations, due to the lacerations of the heart and liver, maybe the pneumonia, What does the prosecution allege happened to Corey? Surveillance footage from the gym at Gregor's apartment complex recorded the child running on a treadmill as his father lifted weights. Gregor was also seen on video going over to the treadmill and continually increasing its speed, which caused Corey to fall off the machine face first, at least 6 times. This kid's 6 years old. The dick father is going and turning up to a speed he can't go. He falls face forward, bangs his face, and the rest of his body, heart, lacerations. Corey's mother, Brianna Michiolo, freaking can't. Michiolo. It's morning, guys. Who had visitation rights to her son, told the jury she noticed bruises on her child later that month. She took him to the hospital to see a child abuse specialist, where Corey revealed details about the treadmill incident. An examination by a pediatrician found no pressing health problems except for the bruises. Corey had about a dozen bruises, abrasions, or scratches on him in various stages of healing. Michiolo also filed an emergent application in family court for sole custody of Corey because she was in fear of Corey's life. One day before Corey's death, the application was denied. These freaking bastards there. They're quick to take your kid away if you don't do what they want or if you support the wrong person. But this kid's being dropped on face first. Treadmill, and his 6-year-old, he doesn't know. His dad says, get back up. He thinks he has to please dad. Bangaroo, get back up. Freaking, this guy's an a-hole. She testified when she dropped her son off at her father's apartment that next morning Corey was fine. 8 hours later, he was dead. After a year-long investigation into Corey's death, the Ocean County medical examiner concluded the body had died of blunt force trauma to the chest and abdomen, and the death was ruled a homicide. The prosecutor's office said in a public statement in March of 2022. This is the face of a piece of garbage scumbag right over here on my shoulder. Look at those eyes, guys. I didn't mean to kill my 6-year-old, you piece of garbage. Where are the people protecting our children? They don't have a new technology where the camera sees him doing this and they just like send in like a guy. You know, they're watching us in every single other camera. They couldn't be like, hey, this guy's beating on his 6-year-old. Let's send in the force. Chuck Norris. Imagine Chuck Norris comes in. You know? Anyway, so Gregor, piece of garbage, child endangerment after the Corey death, resulted treadmill footage. What happens to this guy? What happens to him? Because I really don't want to read the next 2 pages of this story. We're getting to something more funny. Can't. Child dying. If convicted, how many years could Gregor spend in prison? If Gregor is convicted of murder, he would face a minimum sentence of 30 years without parole and up to a maximum sentence of life. I think you deserve life because you took a freaking life. This whole idea, look, I'm not Sharia law on it or anything, but like you took a child's life. That child was 6, had at least another 60 to 80 years in that life you snuffed. You get 60 to 80, my friend. Oh, how you're 55? Good luck living to 135. Dick. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Sometimes you got to call it like you see it. That's the MarkinsPires show. Welcome. Retailers jacked up prices and squeezed consumers. They may have just blinked. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means, but it's by CNN, so it's probably full of crap. Here we go. Retailers are feeling jittery. Consumers aren't shopping like they used to. We're doing online shopping. Don't you guys remember? You can't see people 6 feet. Wear a mask. Bugaboo every 6 days. Oh, you need another one. Put on another 6,464 masks. Anyway, guys, in a game of chicken between stores and shoppers, it's the stores that appear to be yielding first by dropping prices on thousands of products. I'm sorry? Yeah, no, record prices. They made profits like you'd never believe over the... Yeah, no, we got... That's right, yeah. Zabrowski's just filling me in. You know, he's like, they made record profits. They're going to bring the prices down like it's going to hurt them or something? You know, this is the thing that bothers me most. You see, when we have hardest times, that's when these companies do best. That's when they raise prices and then they make record profits. And it's like, no, we have to lower our prices. You know, we're really giving one to the consumer here. Freaking jerks. You know what I mean? Markdowns come as inflation has pushed prices higher for the past 2 years. Milk, right? Eggs. You want pasteurized eggs? Like $7.99. But there's only 12 in there. You know? What are we doing? Yesterday, I went to get, okay, this is just, I told you my uncle's not doing well, so I went to see him. I'm going to get food, you know. $100 for a family dinner. Like, what are we fucking doing here? You know what I mean? Like, huh? Like, it used to be like 40, $50. You order what you sandwiches and everything for the family. Everybody, 5, we're family 5. And it's a $50 deal, you know? You're ordering in bulk, 5 people, you know, when you do that, you get a $50 and $100. I was like, what? This is takeout. Did you put like extra, you know, Wagyu steak in there that I didn't ask for? I'll take it if you're doing the 100, you know, like here you go, here's my 100, but what's in there? Is it special ketchup and mayo that you had imported from Chevois, France? I mean, what are we talking about over here? And $100, guys. And so everything is ridiculous, but I realized the reason they have to charge $100 is because they have to pay people more, right? Now they have to stay, McDonald's, $20 an hour. Yeah, get your fries. You know, you're making 20. Poor Jimmy over there is busting his tail still for 16. You know? But you just have to be able to speak words You know? Not really. You don't even have to speak the language, apparently. And they'll give you 20 an hour and Mickey D's, you know? So we're dealing with it. And I'm in Connecticut. I'm just joking. That's more of a California thing. But they do have to charge more because everything is more expensive. For them to buy the oils they use, for them to buy the food that they serve, the inflation has gotten completely out of hand. And I want people to remember that and not listen to all of the freaking fluff you're seeing online. Because all of a sudden, in year 4, you have people trying to pretend they did something and they did nothing. And now all we see is this, like, there's 2 arguments. You know, they want to kill babies and end bloodlines. That's the only 2 things I see. And nothing else makes sense. I don't see anything positive. Oh, and let's end some college debt for people now, but not fix the predatory system for my kids in 4 years, in 6 years, in 9 years when my 3 kids go to college. I don't give a crap about somebody who got their education and they have the potential to make a living right now. I care about the system that's broken. They don't. They're buying votes. I'm not doing politics. Anyway, here we go. The problem is not for individual shoppers or even big retail chains, but for the whole American economy. About 2/3 comes from consumer spending. I don't know if you guys saw this. As a musician, this is a big deal for us. Sam Ash Music has been around for 109 years or something like that, and they're closing their doors. And that's a sad thing. I mean, I've seen so many musicians, and myself included, say, oh, I used to go to Sam Ash all the time and try out the new gear. And I can tell you the amount of time. I bought 3 guitars from there. Many of these pedals are here that I purchased from Sam Ash. A few microphones. I mean, I've used Sam Ash for years for their equipment. And Guitar Center, those are the 2 games, you know. And it's crazy to see Sam Ash close completely. Now, I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players. I tried to get it into Sam Ash, and they were like not interested. And I think it wasn't because the drum isn't awesome. It's because they were on their way out back then. Even when I was talking to them, like the sales were terrible. And so at Guitar Center, it's kind of interesting. They sell this drum. It's called the Cajon, but it has 1 panel and 1 snare. I invented a drum and patented a drum that has 4 panels, 2 snares. You could sit upright and kick it while you play your guitar, or you could play with your entire body at the same time. It sounds like a 10 to 12 piece drum kit. Everywhere you hit it sounds different, and it's a game changer for every musician on earth. The problem is it makes every other drum obsolete. No one's gonna wanna buy a Cajon once they see this drum, once they play this drum. But I can't get it in front of them because those companies that run the music industry make the drum, and they can't make my drum. And this is a classic scenario when you create a better mousetrap, and the people that are creating the mousetraps don't want you to get your better mousetrap out there. That's what I have here. There's no other drum on earth that has 4 playable panels and 2 snares. And you can't make it because I have the patent on it, on the utility and the design of a 4-paneled, 2-snare drum that's designed in the shape that it is and provides the tones that it provides. Now, outside of what it is for musicians, it's also the most powerful sensory therapy drum on earth. So if you know anybody with autism, I've created something for myself that actually was more important for someone with autism, for somebody with a special need like Down syndrome, where they can connect to music like never before and go down a rabbit hole of vibrational effects. Unlimited tones means unlimited vibrational effects. So when I tell you I have all these different tones that you could hear playing like 12 different sounds, like it sounds like it's a 12-piece drum kit, all those different things you're doing have different vibrational effects through the core of your body. And so when you play the BeatSeat, you feel connected to this moment. You're connected to something beautiful and pure. And for people, I've seen it happen with children who have autism. They change in front of my eyes. I saw somebody who's walked over timid, sits down, and they're playing for 5-7 minutes. And I heard the parents, and they're just talking. They go, wow, Johnny's never played for that long on anything. And I hear these things, and that's important. That means that there are many Johnnies out there that can't sit still. They can't find something to connect to, but the BeatSeat can connect them. So check it out at beatseat.rocks. You can order them there. I build them. They're not built at some stupid factory in China. I hand build them myself. If I get an order today for a BeatSeat, for a child version, for the sensory therapy version, or for a musician, I'm going downstairs to build it for you with my own 2 hands as the inventor. And sometimes if you order one of the really, really high-end BeatSeats, it's out of wood that I cut myself from a log in the backyard I let dry for the last year. And you'll be getting something even more unique. Now, one day, my hope is I'm not builder anymore. I do have a factory that's doing it, and I'm able to do this show and just make a living at this and real estate. And I'm not the builder of the BeatSeats. I have a great guy doing it. But right now, I take a lot of pride in building an awesome instrument for you. They're handmade here in Fairfield, Connecticut, not in China. And so you're buying an American-made instrument out of wood that came from my American backyard, and I cut with a freaking Alaskan chainsaw mill. Freaking 10 minutes each cut, guys. It makes, when I do the fast forwards on Mark Has Wood or here, you can go back and see, I got like a few where you see me cutting the wood. And it's like, but that's because I fast forwarded it 10 times. Like, you guys know how long each one of those panels costs? Like, I'm literally pushing that thing, sweating face, and then I have to like sometimes tighten the chainsaw, and it's like 3 times in the middle of one cut. When I cut all the walnut, that stuff was like, it was definitely tough to cut. Now I'm hoping he had more, but it was tucked under a bunch of wood, and I'm hoping he calls me and says, hey Mark, I got to that, come on over and cut the rest, because I want some more. I built this mandolin was out of the walnut that I cut last year. Look at this. How sick is that wood? All of this is called like, that's like a flamed walnut, and it's got like all these awesome effects here with different checkering, and then this white section of the walnut, like sometimes you get that in walnut where the sides are white. And so this is an amazing, and I have 10 more pieces of walnut that are like 7 feet long. I have a 2.5-inch piece that we're building my new desk out of. We're gonna be doing that probably in the next couple of weeks on the show. So you guys need to subscribe, because this is like the craziest show on earth. We do the news. I write songs in the moment at 432 hertz, which is a healing frequency. Last night wrote this. You could be on the right side of it all. You're the enemy. They keep you from the world, yeah, they'll shut you down. You're the enemy. You're the enemy. You could be on the right side of it all. You're the enemy. They keep you from the world, yeah, they'll shut you down. Speaking about me, of course, and us, when you have anything that's true, when you have anything that you want to say that's real, anything that you feel in this day and age, you're considered the enemy. You're canceled, you're ridiculed, you're called a conspiracy theorist, you're shut down, you lose your channel monetization, you lose the ability to reach people. And this is just the facts of being somebody with a soul, somebody who wants to use that important moment that we have, this moment right here, to say something that means something. And not just try to keep you distracted with lies and with more fear. That's what I get from the world, and that's why I shut it all off. It's December 31st, 2018. I'm sitting in my office, and nobody's there. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I was a guy for the last 8 years, every day I worked, except for 7 days a year I'd take off with my family. And every other day I'd be at the office. Whether I was working or not, I'd be there in case the phone would ring. I was in a suit every single day. I was the youngest guy in this town. Everybody else is super rich. I'm this young guy who grew up in the town, coming back, married, and going to try to start my own. And so I felt it important to wear a suit every day. As the young guy, the guy didn't have any gray hair or any experience at that point except for a lot of hustle. And I had an awesome year the year before, or a very good year. And then the year I had in 2018 was good, but it wasn't that good. And I was like, what did I miss? What did I do wrong? And I thought to myself at the end, I was sitting there, again, no one else is around. It's like ghost town because it's December 31st. Everyone's New Year's Eve. Everyone's getting ready for their party celebrations, whatever. And I thought to myself, you know, the thing that was different last year to this year is I did a lot of video the year before, 2017. When I got my listings, I do this thing called the Christopher Walken walkthrough. And I'd walk through a house and be like, wow, guys, check out this brand new house. It's a colonial. You got the stainless steel. Inside, you go, you get the fireplace, you put the fire crackling, you sit by the fire. You're there with your family. It's a Friday night. Poker table. Like whatever, I just was rambling as Christopher Walken doing the Christopher Walken walkthroughs. And that kind of connected with people. It was like, saw the property, they were getting a chuckle, and I stopped doing it for some reason in 2018. And so I decided to just go live to remind people I was a realtor. That's what I did. December 31st, 2018, I just was like, hey guys, if you went to high school with me, if you grew up in the area, if you're in Connecticut, just remember, and now New York, Connecticut or New York, just remember I'm a realtor. No matter what we're doing in life. You could just be out at a friend's house and you're playing basketball and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a beach house. Oh, I got a friend who can help you find a great agent. Where are you looking? Oh, in Hammonasset? Yeah, my friend can help you find a great agent there, and you don't have to do the work of figuring out who to find that you could trust up there. My friend can call up to Coldwell Banker and have somebody locally that he's spoken to on the phone who knows is going to be a hustler for you to find you the right property. Because guess what? It doesn't cost you any money at all as a buyer. I mean, sometimes now it's actually going to. But it doesn't cost you any more money to hire a guy who's really, really good at their job. It's the same cost. So sometimes it's no cost and it's all the seller. Now we have these new rules. But outside of it, regardless, you're going to want, especially if there's a chance you do have to potentially pay if there's a seller out there who's making it difficult, you want to hire the best person, and I can help you find that person. So anyway, I started that way, and I finished up the show, and I was like, that felt pretty good, And then I went live the next day, and I did something different. I said, why my services are free as a buyer's agent. I was like, look, I go out there, and I had a client I worked with for 3 years to try to sell them a property. They were my buyer for 3 years. They always say, wow, I would have fired. A lot of people say, oh, I would have fired them. And I'm like, yeah, but they stuck with me. I stuck with them. I don't think that way. I'm helping people. Like my motto on my show is to affect a positive change one person at a time. For real estate, that means every client, each client, affect a positive change one client at a time. So that's my motto in real estate. That's why it carried over to the motto for the MarkinsPires show. We're all here to affect a positive change one person at a time. If that's not your motto in life, you have some really serious thinking to do. You have to look in the mirror and realize that your one purpose in this world is to affect a positive change, one person at a time. If you can't do that, you've got some soul searching. And you got to start doing it because, and I do it often, guys, I get sidetracked by things. And I'm like, why am I focused on X when I should be focused on Y? And so, just remember that that's important. You've got this gift. You've got this energy that is meant to be shared. And we've seen how energy can affect all things. Rice. We could see how words affect rice, how intention can affect rice in water. And imagine what it's doing to us. So put some positive out into this world. We need it. This world is dying fast. And it's not like there's someone coming from the sky that's going to save us. I know everyone's like, oh, Yeshua is going to come down out of the sky. Don't think that's how it works. He came as a person once. That's probably the way it happens the second time too. But anyway, outside of that, my point is pretty simple. We have, I think, a job to do. My job here every day is to try to bring you something positive, and if it's music, if it's comedy, if it's me building a freaking table or something or a new instrument, I don't know. I'm just going to do something with the moment that we have. It's real. It's the only thing that's real. The past happened already. Yesterday was an awesome show. I wrote that song last night. Great. It's over now. Today I have to I'm going to write a better song tonight. That's how I believe the show will go. I know whenever I'm here in this moment, when I close my eyes with that guitar in my hand and I'm playing at 432 hertz, sitting on the drum I invented, magic happens. It's the best way I can explain it. There's 209 pieces of magic on iTunes. Every song you hear of mine on iTunes is Mark Pires. Happened live in the moment on the show. Every word, every note happened live. There was no previous thought. I didn't take a pen out, except for the 13, this one right here. You hear studio. Whenever you hear the studio stuff, that stuff I wrote with a pen. I wrote 13 songs. Everything since then has been a live moment that took place. And so when you hear something that hits, just remember that was the moment that provided that for you. It wasn't me. It was me connecting to this moment that we're in and bringing you whatever the creator wanted you to hear. And I'll tell you, there's some deep, powerful stuff in every single one of the songs. And if you go to YouTube and you type in my music playlist, there's like 400 songs there. And for the last maybe 2 years, all the lyrics are at the bottom when you're listening and watching. You'll see all the lyrics. I try my best to go back and edit, but sometimes I'm doing this auto thing lately, and then I'll go, as I'm watching the final, I'm like, geez, those lyrics are wrong. But for the most part, they're right there. You can read the whole story that's being told. And I'm so thankful to connect, because it's very hard to do that. It's very, very hard to connect in 2024. They've got us so distracted with everything else that it's so hard to get here, to be present right here. And that's what I love doing the news, and I love doing all this stuff, because it kind of gets me away from that. Now, I have to personally go back to it. It's 10:09. I got to go and sell real estate. So it's not going to be much longer. I'm sorry to talk for so long here, but sometimes it's important to tell a few stories. Like I said, I started this show because of just reminding people I'm a realtor. By day 3, 4, or 5, I think it was, my brother was the one who came and said, you can't go every day. No one wants to see you every day. And that kind of pissed me off. It actually hurt me. It sort of got a spear in my chest when he said it to me. He goes, you can't go every day. No one wants to see you every day. And I was like, don't tell me what the world wants, what the world needs. And I said, I'm going to go every day to just prove you wrong, and I'll go every day for the rest of my life if I have to. And he goes, yeah, right. Now it's been 1,953 days in a row. There's no other streak on earth like this. I did 5 Christmases in a row, 5 New Year's in a row, 5 birthdays of mine, my wife, my kids, 3 kids, Easters, every holiday, every day. Since December 31st, 2018, I've been here long form. And we're reaching 2,000 days in 46 days. So I hope you guys will join me for that streak, because I think that's when the streak comes to an end and we just do like a normal show. But it's been a heck of a run. It sure has. Anyway, I'm not sure if anybody's on, if we're freaking Elgato'd. How long have we been Elgato'd? Let's see. You guys have sound and picture, hopefully? Me too, no picture, but sound is good. Okay, so we had a little bit of a mix there. So anyway, guys, this is always very interesting to tell the stories, but let's get back quickly and tell one more story here, see if we have anything positive and funny we can tell. Kim Kardashian greeted with loud boos at Tom Brady's greatest roast of all time Netflix special. Should we check it out? Oh, goodness. Kim K, you know, your roots are showing. You think she'd have like a hair guy? Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to a roast. Maybe you could do the roots, you know? She got black roots, and then she got her blondish, like totally platinumed hair. You know she's trying to look like? Who's the Halle Berry in the X-Men movie? Right? She's Halle Berry in the X-Men movie. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. That's freaking Halle Berry. It's Kim Carberry. Kim Carberry. What the hell was her name? Storm. Right? That's Storm right there. Oh, goodness. I hated that movie, you know? I'm just kidding. I don't even remember it. But I do remember her name. I think it was Storm. It's Halle Berry. But it's really Kim Kardashian. You guys, she was right there. Entrepreneur and reality TV star presented by Kevin Hart to give a toast during the comedy special was booed by the audience at the Kia Forum. All right, Kardashian said, doing her best Storm from X-Men, and the boos grew louder. Hart was heard saying, whoa, everybody shit, chill out, motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? I got Kim Kardashian over here. That's Kim Kardashian. Look at that ass, right? The ass was off the stage. They had 3 cameras just to shoot the hiney butt. You know? When the boos subsided, Kardashian continued with her roast, concentrating on Brady. I'm really here tonight for Tom, you know. I wasn't going to come tonight, but like, since I'm here and as Tom's date, there's still a good chance I might. Oh, she made that. I get it. Kardashian delivered another joke likening Brady's appearance to her stepdad, Caitlyn Jenner. I could see it, you know, if you put the hair on Brady and he's like, I'm a girl. Like, he feels like it. He comes out and he's feeling like it. And then you got to affirm. You know, Tamatea is her name now. Tamatea Brady. They had to take her out of the hall, though, because it's only men. Only men are allowed in the hall. The meme showing the evolution of Tamatea Brady appeared on the screen, showing the transformation of Brady's physical appearance and ending up looking like Jenner. Tamatea. Kardashian continued, part of me thinks she would want to entrust me just to try on my clothes, you know? I know the transition from the NFL must have been really hard, but I think my stepdad is a great example for you. She's one of the best athletes in the world. I'm sorry, who? No, he was, you know? He was. There's a new person born. But when he was there and he was doing it back then, gold medals, you know, he doesn't keep the gold medals. Those were taken away. I'm sorry. That was a whole other part of the Olympics. You know, there was a winner that year, you know, for the same event. Now we're going to take that gold medal away from the winner of the women's event. From Jenner took the women's golds. He felt like not giving back to his anyway. And they were like, well, now we give it to the guy who was in second, took silver. That guy's really the gold winner now for all of the Jenner gold. I think that's a biopic we have to cover, guys. Where now we're going to give the gold medals from Caitlyn Jenner to the real winner, you know? Guys, what's right is right. You know? Anyway. You could become a commentator, a far-right Republica, or even a strong, confident woman like that. See where they go. There's the transition. Brady, Tom, there we go. Oh, they left us the actual book.
Thank you. I know a lot of people make fun of your height.
Look at, she's Storm from X-Men.
All right.
You see that the shimmer behind her? That's because her hiney butt is blocking
All right, Kevin.
the light, and it's a weird reflection going on over there, you know? Anyway, there was one guy who ripped the freaking the hell out of somebody. Let me see if we can find it. It made me laugh. He was really good. Tom Brady. Let's go. Let's see if we can see some of the roasts. How about that? Because they're playing them all over X right now. Here we go. This guy killed it.
Of the Giants, which is why Kevin Hart is hosting tonight. All night, he's been using the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from under himself. Kevin is so small that when his ancestors picked cotton, they called it deadlifting. Tom Brady is a patriot, which is surprising considering he looks like a Confederate fag. Clearly your ex-wife takes after you. I hear she's out there draining balls right now. People love you, Tom. You have the same fan base as Kyle Rittenhouse. Gronk, I'm happy you could take a break from writing Santa letters to be here today. I knew you were here when we were all out of chocolate milk backstage. You look like the final boss in George Floyd, the video game. Jeff is so Jewish, he only watches football for the coin toss. Nikki has such a bad eating disorder, the industry keeps shoving her down our throat. You might recognize her from her podcast appearances, specials, and winning the Triple Crown at Churchill Downs. You might recognize Kevin as the jockey that rode her, and that's Churchill Downs, the racetrack, not to be confused with what Jeff Ross looks like when he smokes a cigar. Sam J, an obese African-American lesbian.
I don't know if I can
so
play
by
this.
having
This
your
may get me.
Netflix checked off a
This
lot
may
of
get me a lot
boxes.
in trouble here, because you know how ScrewTube is. You know, this guy is Tony Hinchcliffe. Oh my goodness, he just freaking dominated. Wow, I can't play it all, but I tell you, you should watch it all because it's hilarious. I'll get in trouble because everybody's so sensitive on these platforms. Oh, you're bullying. No, I'm not. I was bullied by 2 people in the 7th grade. Go watch the story. It's on Facebook. It's pinned. Freaking bastards. If there wasn't a Mike Green taking care of a brother, you know, you got a friend. Sometimes you got a friend.
So, Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean,
See, why can't you just like watch roasts? You know what I mean? And like, I did the Comedy Central roast of Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly and Hilaria Baldwin. It was hilarious. And it's all on YouTube. And they got like yellowed. Ooh, that's bullying. No, it's freaking roasting. It's like we're doing it, you know? Machine Gun Kelly, the Water Gun Kelly. He's got like a, you know what I mean? You go check that out now. That was a funny bit. Anyway, guys, I don't know. Roasts. We did it. Were you able to see that, I hope? Yes, good. Sometimes you're here and you don't actually see the things when I switch them over. There's Kevin Hart, half the size of Gronk. That is insane. Gronk's head is about the size of Kevin Hart's chest. You know, he does have a bonk head. You know, if you take a look at Magoo head over here, Let's see if we can find them. I mean, this guy was monstrous.
A whale's vagina, which reminds me.
Oh, goodness. What did Tom have to say with
much
this
for being here.
chiseled?
I know Kim was terrified to be here tonight.
Are they
Not
dating?
because of this, but because her kids are home with their dad.
Oh. Oh.
Kim Kardashian, thank you so much for being here. I know Kim was terrified to be here tonight. Not because of this, but because her kids are home with their dad.
Wow. Wow. He went at it. He went at Kanye, huh? Right? He went at Ye. There's going to be a battle there. You know, isn't it interesting? You got Kim Kardashian went from Kanye West, who's like, I'm a god. You know what I mean? He's got that weird thing going, to a guy who's like, do you want to have some corn on Sunday? You know, like you hear the way Tom Brady was talking. He's like, I know Kim was extremely nervous to show up today, to be here, not because of the roast, but because the kids are at home with their father. Did I say that with enough pronunciation? You know, Tom Brady. She went to extremes. Here to freaking here. Cornbread eating mofo. You know what I mean? Right? That video of Tom Brady, he's picking up milk cartons as a kid, just like lifting them. You know, he had the mullet. He was the first guy to get a mullet. And someone found the pictures of him mulleting it, and they're like, maybe I'll bring that back. And then some stupid idiot brought it back, and now everyone's got a dumb mullet again. What in the friggin' hell happened? That used to be a Joe Dirt piece of comedy. You watch Joe Dirt because the mullet. That's like part of the comedy bit, is that he's got a dumb mullet and the you know, the handlebar mustache thing, you know, with the chops. He's got the chops going with the mullet. That was comedy, and now half the town's walking around with a freaking mullet. Yeah. Look at freaking guy, mullet head. Rooster head mulleting. Yeah, that's what we call it here in Connecticut. Rooster head mulleting. You know, sometimes when you're there and you're looking around and wondering where the freaking hell it all went wrong, you know? Oh, goodness. Mel is awesome. Guys, so listen, at the end of the day, remember something. We have a lot of fun. And Tom Brady, he got his, but he also gave it to Kanye West, who was not there. You know, he's roasting someone who wasn't there. You could roast, you know, Kim Kardashian's stupid hairdo. She should have really gotten that one done before she went to the roast. Hinchcliffe, this guy is again freaking hilarious. I want to watch it all, I really do. I wonder, now we're doing it in pieces here. Let's go. We were at a minute in. Let's just go.
You might recognize Kevin as the jockey that rode her, and that's Churchill Downs the racetrack, not to be confused with what Jeff Ross looks like when he's in Lesbian. So by having Andrew Schultz, I'm glad you took a break from watching Ballroom Dancer, which means she's the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King. And
wait a second. Why is Bert Kreischer mouthing the words of the bit? Listen.
He looks like if the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King.
You hear that? He's so fake. Bert Kreischer's reading. He knows the words.
A liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King. And how about
they have all of their comedies on a teleprompter so they can refer to their comedy.
Stripper that talks too much.
Oh,
Bert Kreischer is the king. He looks
They're
like
both
if the Tiger
looking at it.
King
Look.
and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King. And how about the appearance from the great Ron Burgundy, huh? A whale's vagina, which reminds me, Kim Kardashian's here. She's had a lot of black men celebrate in her end zone. Kim, word of advice, close your legs. You have more public beef than Kendrick and Drake. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. My son's got me into this whole Kendrick and Drake beef. I don't know if maybe I should do a little content on that because it's interesting, but I think it's just a play Like, honestly, it baffles me how everybody gets sucked into these things. But I'm like, they just clearly like talk to each other on the back end. They're like, all right, I'm going to hit you with this, and then you hit me with that, and let's just keep this. We're selling music, we're selling music, mofo, right? And Drake's like, yeah, I'm in. He's like, look, I'm going to call you a pedo, and I'll say things like, you're always looking to strike a chord, but it's always A minor. Oh, how brilliant of a line was that? That was probably one of the best lines I'd heard in rap in a while. And I was watching that, and I thought to myself, that hits hard. I used to like hip hop before I got into music and writing music. So I do appreciate it. I don't like listening to it now because I'd rather write a song. I don't listen to any music. I write music. But I can appreciate all music. And when I listen to that, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm listening to the composition. I'm listening to the way the rhythm is moving, the way the voice breaks into the rhythm and connects off it and shifts away from it and doubles and triples sometimes and all that cool stuff. And when he got into this thing about, he's talking about how he likes him young. He says, then you're trying to strike a chord, but it's always A minor. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Just that double meaning of the chord A minor is a chord, but you're trying to strike a chord with A minor, but you're always trying to strike a chord, but it's always with a minor. I was like, ooh, man, that's fire. That's the beauty of writing with a pen. I actually do a lot of that type of stuff in the live set. Like if you go listen to music, you'll hear where I start something and end and begin the next with that, or there's two meanings to it if you go back and listen to it. But that's really just the power of the moment. If you grab a pen and you sit there and you work it, you can incorporate that like constantly. And it's a pretty cool thing to do, where you kind of have multiple meanings for lines in a song. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. I'm going to have to look into that beef a little bit more and maybe see if I could bring you guys some info or maybe some comedy on it. I don't know what anybody thinks, to be honest, about either of those guys. If you like Drake, if you like Kendrick Lamar, who's better? I don't listen to the music of either of them. I know that they're all considering one or two of them to be the best of all time, which I think is totally mental. I grew up at a time where there was like ridiculous hip hop, like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. There was so much stuff going on that you can't just pick anybody as a greatest. It's like any other sport or anything. You can't pick a greatest. Michael Jordan is probably the greatest I've ever seen in my life, but that doesn't mean anything. People like LeBron James more. People like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar more. They like Wilt Chamberlain more. It's really like a never-ending conversation. There is no winner. I think actually Michael Jordan said it best. We played it in different eras. You can't judge it that way. You could say there's a greatest of each era. This is the greatest. Michael Jordan was the greatest of his era. LeBron James, the greatest of his era. But actually, you have other great people. You got like Steph Curry. All these people are so good. There's some ridiculous basketball players. There's some ridiculous baseball players. So everything is subjective, like everything else in life. But I keep the conversations going. I think that's actually not a bad thing. To get us away from all this negative stuff they're trying to push on us in this world. So if you guys can join me later, we'll have some music for you. 432 hertz. And if you haven't yet, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like, and turn on all notifications. We do this twice a day, and we'll be back for part 2 later, around 9 o'clock p.m., somewhere around there. Hopefully beyond that early. Usually it's around 10. And let me see who's on with me over on YouTube. Wow. Wow. I'm just refreshing the page here. Dr. Joey #1. How are you, my friend? Barella in the house. I got Helen Gale Townsend, Hilly Billy here. Oh, goodness. Doctor Will, good to see you, buddy. Mac Burger. He said RIP to Porcelain again. I hope Porcelain's okay. Porcelain is another creator who came on for a little while. I wrote a song for him one night. Actually, he asked me to write the song about Kyle Rittenhouse. So I wrote a song called Kyle Rittenhouse, Kyle Ritten Out. It's on iTunes. It's actually a really, really good song. Oh my God, Dr. Joey, you're awesome. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy to hear that. This song was pretty wild. If you want to listen to it, the hook is pretty crazy. It says, I think it says something, when you go for the gun, you're going to get the gun. Something like that. It's a powerful song. Happened to get in the moment. But I've been challenged many times. I think Porcelain may have also been the person to ask me to write a song about the LGBTQ community. And I've had a lot of people try to challenge me and see if they could some people try to troll me and see if they'd get me to say something wrong or something that's offensive. And it's completely the opposite. If you go and you type in on iTunes, Mark Pires LGBTQ anthem and push play, it's the most beautiful song ever written for that community. I wrote a song about allowing people to be with who they want in order to be happy, because we all need to find our happiness. And it's a powerful, powerful song. And there's this I put my vocals together on one of the sections, I added another guitar, it's like, oh, it's a fire song for that community. They should be pounding that in like all over the radio stations to people that are like, yeah, we should be able to be ourselves. It's a great song, it's a really great song. I should have added in there, yeah, be yourselves, just don't talk to my kids about it, all right? You can hang out, do you. We're all doing you. At the end of the day, people figure things out in time. I've had so many great conversations with people, they all say the same thing. Like if someone said something to me when I was 14 years old or 13 years old, I would have believed them. I would have listened. I would have been thinking about it, because we're all internal creatures. We think about everything. And so if someone who's an adult comes to you with some sort of confidence when they speak words to you, and they say, hey, I noticed something about you and this is what I see. Like, you're automatically gonna be curious, well, what does that person see that I don't see right now? I have to see if I can explore that. I didn't buy an instrument until I was 18. I think about that all the time, because it's like, I didn't know who I was. Didn't know who I was until I was 18, bought a guitar, started writing music, and then I found myself. It's amazing how it takes time for you to really figure out who you are, but don't let somebody force you in a direction, and don't let people manipulate you. Remember, you're on a journey, you're gonna be confused for many, many years until you're not. But it doesn't help when people are trying to tell you things that are wrong, or things that they feel. This is a world where we all have our own feelings and we need to get to them. We need to connect with them. Now, we all work on the same spectrum of feelings. That's why we're all connected. We're just built differently. We're engineered differently, so we feel different feelings at different times. But we all feel those same feelings. The best example I have is I have a friend who was my best friend in high school, and if someone got hurt, he would laugh. He would tell me, he's like, I don't know why, but I laugh when people get hurt. And he would say, I was like, what the, that's so dark and weird to me, twisted. But every time someone would get hurt, I'd look and my friend would be smiling and laughing. And I was like, what is that, I had the complete opposite effect. I went to help, always went to help. And so I saw, this is the way our minds work. And then there were times I'd laugh at something and he would feel like, I gotta go and do something different. So it's like, we're just designed different. That's it. We both feel those same emotions, just at different times. We're triggered by different details, stigma, whatever it is, in order to achieve that moment, whatever it is that happens to us in that moment. It's the only way I can explain why we're different, but we're the same, We're different, but we're the same. I wrote a song about that called We All Are the Same. It's actually powerful. And how we feel the same things. We bleed the same, we hurt the same, we love the same, we all are the same. And it's like, I feel like they know, obviously, they know that we are one, and the best way for them to achieve their means is by keeping us divided as long as possible while they achieve their means, the end to their goal. And I keep thinking to myself, we're such a small group of people that are fighting back. And then the ones that are fighting back are totally kept from the world that is really looking for some answers and looking for some connection. And it's like, man, they're so good at what they do. They are so good at controlling the narrative, at controlling the airwaves. Scary times, my friends. But we'll do our best to try to rise above them with some positive content. And yeah, Kim Kardashian. Oh, thank you, Dr. Joey. You're awesome. Dr. Joey said, I heard what your brother said. He was totally wrong. Keep up the great shows. We need someone like you to be positive. Thank you, Dr. Joey. I appreciate you. And I will do my best to keep that positivity out there into this world. And I hope we together can do something positive and affect a positive change one person at a time. Remember, guys, that's my motto. And I think that whenever I get down on myself or get down on anything, I remember that my goal is not to always have things work out the way I want them to, but to try to affect something positive today. Bring some sort of positive to this world. Even if that means smiling at someone, opening a door for someone. It could be the littlest thing that could have a massive effect on somebody's life, and your energy is so powerful. Don't forget that. Everything you do makes ripples in all directions. So why not see if you can put something positive out there and ripple it out? I mean, we need that. We need that right now. A ripple effect of positivity just through the universe, and see if there's still a chance that we can do something positive and something meaningful with our time here. Like that would, I think about how many people lived a life and then they ended that life in a war, or there was some sort of just world event, like during CV, and they ended their time on this earth was ended in some weird fear-mongering state, or where people were just hiding in their homes, getting shelled by bombs, you know what I mean? Like it's frightening, but we still have a chance. We're not there yet. We still have a chance. I don't even know. I don't think I have any answers. I just think that part of it is us. It's our intention. We have to try to shy away from world conflict. And look at all this crazy stuff going on at the schools. You know that there's somebody pushing on that, because all the schools, all at the same time, these crazy people are coming out and saying, all right, now I'm gonna go on a hunger strike. Like, we're dealing with the most insane times. Up is down, left is right. I said that in multiple songs now, including the one from last night where I called We Are the Enemy. If you guys want, go push play on last night's show on YouTube. It's about halfway through. The song is freaking crazy. And the hook is, we are the enemy. You could be on the right side of it all. And they'll shut you down, they'll cancel you, they'll shadow ban you. Because we are the enemy. And anything but their perspective is considered harmful, I guess. Misinformation. The people that were the fake news became the critique of all content, hired fact checkers, and they called everything misinformation. It's actually quite brilliant if you think about it like that. It's like, okay, well, nobody trusts us anymore because we're all full of shit. What do we do now? Well, let's start a new Ministry of Truth, or let's start some fact-checking bureau that we say is third party. And they're going and they're just pulling down all misinformation. Okay. It's all owned by Zuckerdick. Mark Zuckerdick. You guys know who he is, right? He's a silly guy. One day at a time. That's right, my friend. All right, guys. So look, I will be back later. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Sometimes you get a little wild here. If you have any real estate leads for me, let me know. I can help you anywhere in the United States of America. It costs you nothing for me to send you a great agent or hook you up with a great agent somewhere. So shoot me a DM, YouTube, all channels, MarkinsPires, and music as Mark Pires on iTunes. It's kind of weird. I got two different names, you know. But musically, I'm just me, you know. Also known, AKA MarkinsPires. See you later.